Incredible. These ruins are untouched. We are the first to disturb them. When was the last time anyone walked these passages? It must have been centuries. No, millennia. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk more once we reach the bottom. Charge it up. Just a little spark. I'll wager those artifacts you found fit together somehow. Let's have a closer look at camp. Not bad for a scholar. A little power goes a long way. Charge it up.
Ready, aim.
Watch your head. There's a trap right above it. Just a little spark. A little power goes a long way.
Ready, aim.
No! Watch your head. There's a trap right above it.
You take lead. Just like the good old days.
Charge it up. A little power goes a long way. Beautiful. Life into death. To think it survived all these years.
It's surprisingly colorful. Not sure what I expected.
We've seen godless architecture before. I've never seen godless art until now. I would not go swimming if I were you, unless you wish to meet your maker. There must be a way across. If not underwater, perhaps over it, with the help of some ice.
Worse than raw.
What am I hitting? What's the target?
Worse than raw. Worse than raw.
Charge it up. Just a little spark. Gather round. What in the name of Aeora is that?
You, think it's sleeping?
I've never seen anything like it before. I don't believe it's a statue. No, this was alive once. And the people who lived here were terrified of it. Whatever this is, at least it's dead. 2 points for the godless, none for the abominations. We're going to die down here, aren't we? Well, is it wrong? Got eyes on something? Death into life. Interesting. The godless clearly had some ideas about reincarnation, even if they didn't have a god.
Every other culture I've come across reveres the gods, even if they give them different names and pictures.
Can you imagine life without any gods to guide your destiny? Without anyone shepherding you this way and that? Of course I can imagine it, but I'll wager you have a harder time. Looks like quite a party. Let's break it up. How did they even get down there? Clever things must have their own secret entrance.
They're having. Ready to make an entrance?
Take it off your left.
then rock!
If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. Guess that means the coast is clear. Let's have a look at the Adra pillar.
Come, hear us through the Adra. Find us.
A little power goes a long way. Just a little spark. We've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The equipment was compensating for a poor connection to the Beyond. Here, we won't have that problem. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts. We welcome you. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain. Lonely, yes. None have asked after us in so long. We open to you as a bud before the sun. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them. They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls. We felt the thrill of their wonder. We basked in their desire to know us. They brought their prayers to us. We answered. We do not remember how we grew. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sabadal. None who remember us still live. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. rot. We feel it too. Our hands are bound. Find us. Free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Your words are comfort indeed. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akida, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? A mere drop in a lake, a drop of our blood, our sap, given to nourish you. We would never harm you, seed of our soul. We could not, even if we wished such cruelty. Your will remains yours. Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
You were out a long time. We gotta start bringing pillows.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. Most of a day. Better drink some water. You, lost some fluids?
Hey, happens to the best of us.
While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the Living Lands. Somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness. You've heard of it. Fascinating. Maybe someone knows about this garden of yours. If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? I'm sorry? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible. How could we have missed this? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Not the Adra itself, but how it comes together. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. Now that is a tall order. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it.
I got a headache just thinking about it. And I'm not the one with the god knocking around in there.
The real question is, where do I start? Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe someone's heard of it before. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
Then that's where we start.
Let's return to Fior Mesiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. Gods, I don't know. The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy. The end of the Living Lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Finding a secret entrance and discovering a new god. Not bad for a day's work.
Wait. We smell the musk of war. We hear the clash of steel. No. In the distance. They fade now. Was it a dream?
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? Oh no. Let's go. You take the lead.
Come on. There's a way up those stairs.
Charge it up. This tower is a long way. Charge it up. Just a little spark. There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take so many revelations at a time. What we discovered here, it changes everything.
A hidden god in the Living Lands. Who knew?
Oh my god. No!
Andra's dead.
What happened? Who did this? The city's under attack. Come, there isn't a moment to waste. We won't learn anything standing here. I just hope Quilichi is all right.
Something's burning. Doesn't look like the city, but let's make sure no one's hurt.
I can't believe this. All things considered, Fior Messiverno looks undamaged. Surprising when you consider the state of our defenses. Whoever started this fight didn't come prepared to finish it. I will be happy to oblige them. Someone made a dangerous enemy today.
We'll fight them with you, Giada.
They break, they bind us.
I hope everyone is all right. My people settled these lands in the name of freedom. It took 50 years, but our oppressors caught up to us. I hate living in interesting times.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Again and again they strike.
I thought you did quite well, under the circumstances.
Totem.
Good news, envoy.
There's the city. Thank goodness.
Envoy, over. I see you avoided the carnage. A few of your countrymen, well, let's say they didn't know any better.
You may have beaten us today, but it's only a matter of time before Emerald Stair bends the knee.
Shut up already. Since the two of you are kin, I thought maybe you could help squeeze some information out of him. Good point. I'll just bring the masked warlord who answers to no one in for questioning. That isn't going to happen. We caught this one alive, so any justice we mete out will be on his head. What we know is this. The Steel Garrote marched on Emerald Stair. We're pretty sure they wanted to set us to the torch.
And you taught them the error of their ways. Well done.
Just doing my job, same as you. What I don't understand is why they came unprepared. Few soldiers, and even fewer supplies. If the Steel Garrote wanted to start a fire, they sure didn't pack a lot of firepower.
That was you?
Well, that's one question down. I'm sure the governor will want to thank you himself. As for our friend here...
It doesn't matter what you do to me. The living lands will be brought to heel.
Now listen, I am a patient man. But if you don't give us some answers, the envoy here is going to rip you in half. You know I was bluffing, don't you? I'm not looking forward to cleaning up the mess. So you can help me by telling us what we want to know.
Your threats are wasted, Kerr. I have nothing to hide. Inquisitor Ludwig gave the order to march on Fior Messiverno. Emerald Stair's on the precipice of disaster. Crops have failed, the townsfolk are defiant, and it's only gotten worse.
I fail to see how attacking my city helps the situation.
The coast is the only habitable corner in the living lands. We can unite as one people, or let the wilderness take us. What choice do we have? Tradition led this place to its doom. Better that it burn, and the people start again.
That is, without a doubt, the worst justification for a war crime that I have ever heard.
Speaking from experience, people don't usually unite as one after you've attacked their home.
Ludwig tried to hasten the inevitable. Nothing more.
Ah, now that is what I call a thorough confession. What do you want to do with him? As an adherent, I trust you know how to handle it by the book.
Violence is the language of the Steel Garrote. Nothing less will get through to them.
I say throw back the little ones if they're not in a position to do more harm. Besides, he's probably more scared of what'll happen if you don't kill him.
Your call, Envoy. I will see to it myself. Too bad the road to Paradise is in bad shape. Our wagon might hit a bump or two.
As much as I want to rip his soul apart, maybe he's more useful to us alive.
But you can't send me back to Ludwig. Don't you know what she does to people who fail her?
I can't wait to find out. See you around, Envoy. Thanks again.
A fate worse than death, perhaps. But fate nonetheless.
Good call. He's Ludwig's problem. Not worth getting your hands dirty.
Envoy, I owe you my gratitude, and perhaps an apology. They tell me you're the reason our city is standing. You took care of the Steel Garrote before they could cause any serious damage. I can't imagine what it cost you to stand up to the likes of the Steel Garrote, but we won't forget it.
No doubt your Inquisitor is aware of what happened here. You've made a powerful enemy.
The Inquisitor is not one to be trifled with. I hope you are not punished for your generosity. As for us, we're still standing, but our enemies have little patience for failure.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote have declared war on the living lands.
Call it what you like. This is an invasion of our sovereign territory.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradise. Today marks a notable victory, but we've only bought ourselves time, not salvation. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch, and I wasn't strong enough to bear it. Not for me, perhaps, You must understand. My mother is the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as her lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giata.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
You truly think you can find a god? I said I'd keep an open mind, but this is a bit much.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now, what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
But we can return someday. Rebuild your father's legacy. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradise.
And I want an explanation.
As long as we are Animancers, the adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradise is more secure, but it would mean living under Adheran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
Thirdborn's full of hardy types. Lots of former soldiers and mercenaries. A rough bunch, but good to have at your back. It's also farther from the Steel Garrote's base of operations. That's where I'd make my stand.
will be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as animancers and as fellow expatriates.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father lead the republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Naku Kubel, which is in Shatterscarp. So we've got to get there now. Though the city was saved, my research wasn't, which means the Steel Garrote knows just as much as we do. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman. You'll need both to survive the Living Lands, but at least you won't be lacking in good judgment.
Don't speak too soon.
I can promise you a good brain, but it doesn't always come with good judgment. For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers. I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, envoy.
Exploring the Living Lands with a friend. What more could I ask for?
Back to Shatterscarp, then.
You found your brother? I saw the Steel Garrote chasing him down.
He's fine. Shaken. Terrified.
Welcome back! What can I get you?
I'll wager those artifacts you found fit together somehow. Let's have a closer look at camp. I knew the Steel Garrote were up to no good.
No one ever plans anything nice in a hidden war camp, do they?
This isn't over, you know. Emerald Stair was just the beginning.
Ominous portents of doom. Need more of those for sure.
We should talk. What happened to Fior Messiverno could have been worse. A lot worse. But that doesn't mean the Living Lands is safe. If anything, it's more dangerous by far. And in my case, it's inevitable. No matter where Animancers go, someone is always trying to kill us. Nothing enrages the gods more than mortals in pursuit of knowledge. I doubt they know the meaning of the word. They seem a little out of touch. Listen to me. A failed Animancer lashing out at everything in reach. Even with all the tools at my disposal, I couldn't stop the Dream Scourge. And I couldn't save my people. How do I live up to my family's example when I can't even help myself? I wish I could. But that legacy is a debt I can never pay off. My parents died pursuing a better future for Animancers. I can't let their sacrifice be for nothing. And right now, that's all it is. I have some pondering to do. Let me know if there's anything else. Sending my people to Thirdborn. It's a good arrangement. They get a roof over their heads. The city gets Animancers, and everyone gets along. For once. We should try to harness that goodwill, or replicate it, like an energy source. On the other hand, maybe not. Look, I know you didn't come to this island to help us. And yet you were here when others would have looked away. Despite everything that happened, it means a lot. We all deserve better. But fate decided otherwise. Well, onward to better things. If you need anything, you know where to find me. For you, anything. Well, my future is in shambles, and I have no idea what to do next. Oh, and my home is under attack by the acolytes of an insane witch god. Apart from that, fine. Truthfully, I'm a bit lost. Leaving Fior Messiverno was supposed to be liberating. We've seen and done incredible things, but I'm no closer to finishing my family's work. What I'm up against is much bigger than either of us. Through Animancy, I can harness the wild essence of the Living Lands and put it to good use. But what if I tried, only to have it lash out and destroy me? I'd be no better off than my parents. The Dream Scourge is infecting our Adra, holding back my work. Until I understand it, until I can control it, I can't do anything. I'm useless. I'm nothing. Let's hope we live long enough to see this garden of yours. Quilici always told me to slow down, to stop and appreciate the land I'm trying so hard to fix. But how can I slow down when I only have one lifetime to get this right? I'll find answers in the garden, for better or worse. If I must.
Envoy? It's clear that no matter what happened, these people couldn't stay in Fior. Just not sure you did the right thing. These people won't survive long in a place like Thirdborn. Thirdborn is a rough town. They literally do their business inside the skeleton of a Leviathan. If you thought Paradise's docks were rough, just wait. Plus, they have a nogfish curry that will peel your tongue. Right, changing the subject. Fine. You've been patient enough, I suppose. Right. Solace isn't an easy place to live. The food is stale and meager. The water tastes like steel and old meat. Everyone knows everyone else. No privacy, no silence, no time to yourself. I'm a wilderness expert. I can get privacy whenever I want it. Solace is a walled keep in the harshest region of the lands. Isolated is an understatement. Honestly, all of that was fine. But there was a peculiar kind of silence I didn't love. Huh, you should be a sharpshooter. You keep hitting the target. I have only the faintest memories of my parents, which was fine. I had friends and mentors and trainers and elders. When I asked about my real parents, though, they just told me I was safe now, and that the Wardens were my family. I never knew if my parents were alive or dead. I like to assume that they had died fighting some giant monster in the Tusks, but no one would say. When I asked for more, they changed the subject, like I wasn't worthy of a backstory. I mean, I know the important part. I'm from Solace, for whatever that's worth. My oldest memories are of Solace. My oldest friend is from there. Right. You asked. If I must. Envoy? Gods, I can't believe what's happening around here. Fjord was attacked when we weren't looking. It's a miracle it's still there. Teeth, fingers, toes, arms, that freaky Blessed mask she's always wearing. All of it. I'm sure we'll all get our chance soon enough. Right, changing the subject. Pleasant dreams.
I hope Thirdborn is a good community for my people. They've been through a lot.
Thirdborn's rough around the edges, but it's full of good people. They'll have your back when you need it.
Survivors, in other words. In that case, maybe your kin are a good match for mine.
That looks like a piece of the thing you were fiddling with at camp.
What have you found?
They call themselves the Akita. They worship this strange child.
Boudica will be displeased to hear it.
Boudica is never pleased.
I presume Boudica will entreat me to cull these followers.
The simplest solution.
I will not. The wheel turns. I merely guide.
You fear you cannot.
How could such a creature even come to be? Our ignorance may have consequences.
I agree. Though I will say this. The Queen may have her motives. Sometimes standing idly by is greater subterfuge than action.
I hope this does not force all our hands.
Not bad. A little art to brighten up the camp. Are you seeing anyone, Marius? Romantically, I mean.
Right. I knew this would come up eventually.
I only bring it up because romance is good for the soul.
So is finding a good pile of deer saka on a hunt. But I'm not advising you to go looking for it.
Under the right conditions, you can even measure the energy of a romantic tryst. Isn't that fascinating?
To you? Sure.
Oh well. Let me know if you change your mind. I know a lot of shy academics in need of an experienced guide.
I'll let you know.
Come closer, Envoy. I'd like a word.
Gods.
A moment of your time, if you please. From one Adiran to another. I go where the Inquisitor commands, just as you go where the Emperor commands. You interfered in our plans. Take it from me, Inquisitor Ludwig isn't at all pleased. Perhaps, but your goals are aligned. That's all that matters.
We have nothing in common with the likes of her or you.
Hear me out. That's all I ask. Believe it or not, the Steel Garrote owe you an apology on behalf of Inquisitor Ludwig.
Bring us her severed head and I'll consider it.
That temperament of yours is exactly the problem she's trying to solve. Our soldiers were poised to attack Fior Messiverno. If you had been made aware, you would not have interfered. My intentions exactly. You might not want to admit it, but Fior Messiverno is a settlement in decline. Weak government, chaotic farming, dangerous research. What exactly do you think you saved?
My home, which you have no right to condemn.
You've done nothing but condemn it. Shouting matches with the governor, open defiance.
I fight for my home because I cherish it, you shit-eating worm. Because I want us to survive.
Then I hope you enjoy the consequences of your actions. Fjord Messiverno's reliance on animancy and stubborn individualism has done nothing but drag the living lands down with them. Any good farmer knows when to put down an injured animal. Look, I'm only telling you this because you deserve to know Ludwig's intentions for the living lands. If Heelgard cannot maintain a grip on the living lands, then the Steel Garrote will simply take it from him. You see, the Steel Garrote answer to the Burned Queen, not your floundering empire. And we will break from Adir if that's what it takes. And while he frets in the throne room, his puppy dog soldiers will chase their own tails. Inquisitor Ludwig sees something in you, Envoy. She wants to cultivate your potential, as she did mine. You don't want to get between her and the fate of the living land, so let this serve as a warning. Our grasp on this island is going to tighten, even if it costs us allies along the way. Acceptable losses. What you do with this information is up to you, but don't get in our way a second time. It won't end well. Feel free to prove us wrong. The Steel Garrote love a challenge. Before I let you go, a little bird sang in my ear that you're going to Shatterscarp.
You don't have to answer that.
Of course, that would have been impossible with these meddlesome rangers in the way.
You didn't.
I took the liberty of removing them. It's a shame, really. Honorable folk to the last. Decent men die every day. When you arrive in Shatterscarp, give this letter to Temerty. Compliments of the Inquisitor. No need to keep you any longer. Let's hope our next meeting is under more favorable circumstances. You know, there's a depraved part of me that was hoping you'd make this interesting.
Let's make this a battle to remember.
Sorry it'll be over so quickly then.
Make the
Here we
Inquisitor
go!
proud.
I'll find you better off.
Come on! Come on!
Give me a second. Right behind you.
On your right!
What's your right?
Let's see what you got.
What the rock?
And raw.
Patience. Give me a second. You all right? Don't you die on me.
The weapon's not doing the job.
It's the envoy.
I'm with you.
Show me what you got.
Nicely done. Come on. Come on.
Need a minute.
Over here!
You've got better aim than a sharpshooter, Giada.
You came to Emerald Stair looking for answers. And now we're leaving with more questions. How do we fight the Dream Scourge? What can we do about Sapadal? And where is the garden? Not to mention why the Steel Garrote attacked my fucking home. Who cares what she believes? What right have the dead to judge the living? We were lucky this time. My people will be on high alert, but that doesn't mean we're safe. The Steel Garrote are hunting anyone who doesn't conform to their vision of the living lands. Our freedom is on the line.
So on top of the Dream Scourge rotting your fields and turning kith and beast alike into monsters, now we've got a Death Guard Inquisitor and the Steel Garrote dogging our steps. Do you think Ludwig will try something similar in Thirdborn? That's good to hear. We'll find allies in Shatterscarp, if it's anything like I remember. Thirdborn's a rugged place that attracts rugged people. Lots of Rawatayans, scramble routes with no prospects back home, washouts from military or mercenary life, sailors in search of steady ground. Add to that a motley assortment of pirates, free spirits, and people who like living under the loosest grasp of the law, and you've got Thirdborn. But rumor has it something's amiss in Shatterscarp. Strange dreams, disappearances, people wandering into the desert and never returning, or coming back, changed. That's what I'm afraid of.
At least that tells us we're on the right track. This Dream Scourge is one of the weirdest things I've ever tried to hunt. Town full of survivors. Anyone who decides to stake out a life in Shatterscarp isn't someone you want to mess with. Good enough people, though. And generally less likely to rob you or bore you to sleep than other places we've been.
Everything we learned in Naku Tadek points us to the garden. Thirdborn is just a stepping stone. But we don't know anything about the garden. It could be a myth or a metaphor. Whatever the garden is or isn't, it's our only lead. We find the garden, we find the Dream Scourge. Indeed, and deep roots waiting to be unearthed. Yahtzee is a master of the unknown and the unknowable. No mystery eludes her for long. If there is a path to the garden, Yahtzee can lead us to it. I'd follow her anywhere.
Or maybe that god poking around your soul could give us directions.
Ask for directions. Why didn't I think of that? Kai, that's brilliant. Whatever Sapadal tells us will be filtered through a lot of metaphysical noise, but it couldn't hurt to try. This is so exciting. Sapadal? It's Giada. Giada Castel. If you're listening, could you please tell us more about the garden?
Castel. Castel. Why does this name sing to us? A voice through murky water. The garden stifles the notes. We cannot reach. The branches bind.
Did you get anything? What? No. They must have confused me with someone else. Clearly your link to Sapadal isn't as strong as it was in Naku Tadek, but I'll take it over nothing.
I'll pass. I've heard too many ghost stories that start this way.
Right. If I wanted to waste time, that's what I carry a flute for.
Just me then? Really? No one else has a question for the god of the living lands? Fascinating.
So let me see if I got this straight. We're looking for the garden, which might not exist. Our best lead is Yahtzee, an eccentric scholar who's gone ahead to Thirdborn, where the Dream Scourge may be ravaging.
Don't look at me. I was fine going back to Paradise. Stop. You're aggravating my ulcer.
Listen, I hate to ask this, but while we're in Shatterscarp, there's something I need to do. Something I owe Tama. There's an old battlefield near some Pogrunan ruins. Area called the Shark's Teeth. Tama lost his badge there. I need to get it. Thanks.
Takes courage to go back for something you lost. I wouldn't have it in me.
Get some rest. Sleep is good for the soul. I wanted to say, for all of its imperfections, Fiormes Iverno deserves a second chance. Thanks to you, it has one. I won't forget it. Not before we answer to her. Just to be safe, we should remain vigilant. Sleep in shifts. Look after each other. Rest while you can. Our enemies are organized, but so are we.
Sleep well. We've got a long road ahead.
Good. Hi, can I borrow your pistol?
I don't usually lend it out. Why?
I was hoping to make a few simple modifications.
What kinds of modifications?
Well, I was going to start by removing the trigger,
What?
then snapping off the hammer,
Are you serious?
and finally stuffing the barrel with tree sap.
Why would you do this?
Because I caught you reading my diary, that's why.
Giada, I promise on my life and on every life my soul has ever lived, I will never touch your diary again. And I'm very, very sorry.
Wonderful. In that case, you can hold on to your little toy.
Well, that was hard to watch. You okay?
I will be.
You smell death here.
Listen to me. Look here. Can you focus on my voice? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm just dizzy.